Hello, welcome back to SharePoint Charts Complete Training. In this session we're going to do an easy one. This is the proportional area chart. If you can make a pie chart, then you can make a proportional area chart. This is just a different way to visualize the kind of data that you might otherwise put in a pie chart. It uses the same data set. We'll use a single SharePoint record and just provide the field names to demonstrate that. So the data set we used in our last training is going to be used for this one as well. So this should be pretty quick. Let's go ahead and dig in. So first, make sure you're in the proportional area chart section of training, and you can see a preview of the way this might render data. It gives you a little bit of a description, and then also there's a reference. It mentions that this list is created from this workbook. And if you haven't yet completed the training on pie charts and polar charts, I absolutely do recommend you do that first, and then you can do this training later on. So let's go ahead and first of all go ahead and make sure we have our template open. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. There is our template, and then what we want to do is go back to our SharePoint charts training site that we've been using, and we're going to start by going to the list which has the data that we want for this type of chart. So I'm going to my donut chart because this is the list that I want, WISE industry category sales. And now I want to make a view, so I'll do save view as, and I'm just going to call it area chart. And save. Okay, and then what I'll do is edit the current view and just hit OK. The reason I do this is so I can get the URL I want. That's the more friendly URL. Now I can go back to my home page, and I'm going to edit that, and I want to add a quick link to this chart that I'm getting ready to create. So I just pasted that in, and I just want it to be called area chart. I'll pick an icon, and we'll switch that over and find something appropriate. Alright, there's something that shows the concept. Looks good. I'll go ahead and click on my tile link and then move it down to the end and republish my page. Now I've got a handy link over to this area chart that I'm getting ready to make. Okay, so let's go back over to our template. And the first thing we need to do, just like in our last training, we need to set the number of SharePoint fields that we're using. In this case, we have 7 fields, and we need to plug in those field values. So I have number values for electronics, software, and services. I need to put that in. Okay, and then furniture, subscriptions, and appliances. And then the last one is supplies. Okay, we want to change the chart title. So I'm going to switch this over to, I think it was category sales, right? Yeah. Category sales. Let's give it a nice big chart title. I'll make that 36 pixel size, and then that should be enough information to copy over. So let's go ahead and start, and I will come over here to my view selector, then format current view, advanced mode, and select all, paste, and save. There we go. Right away we've got an issue though. I can't read that. It's in teeny tiny letters, and that's okay. We can make adjustments to correct that right away. Now, one thing about this is depending on the size of the values in your chart, it can make a dramatic difference in the text size. It's just a quirk, if you will, about this chart size. And so you can see the font size was set very small, and that was to make this preview look normal. Now what's going to happen is our preview is going to look strange in a second, but that's okay. What we're interested in is getting our text size looking how we want on our SharePoint site, so don't worry about that part of it. Just make those adjustments and save. And you can see now I can actually read the labels in my chart. And another thing I can do, if I want, I can adjust the line color. So maybe I want that to just look a little bit different. I'll just switch that to crimson and copy that over just to look at a different variation. Okay, so now we just have a different border color. That's pretty much it. It's similar to other templates in terms of some of the other options that are available. If you want to put a prefix here, let's say you're dealing with money, you can see I can just put a $sign in there and make that adjustment as well. And now we see the $sign showing in my template. That's pretty much all there is to it. This type of chart is going to look better when you have lots more data. So think about that. Next time you're going to do a pie chart and you may have 12, 15, 18 different values, that's really not going to look well in a pie chart, because what's going to happen is you're going to have things crunched together. It can be a little bit hard to see. In this type of a diagram, it's a little bit easier to see the sections, so the labels are going to appear a lot nicer. So that's everything you needed to know in order to do the proportional area chart. This is something you can do in addition to those easy go-to options, like when you do pie charts and other variations on that. And the thing that's neat about this is those rectangles, those boxes, the size of those is automatically drawn in there. So you get a nice little tiny grid of the sets of small values, and then you have the big boxes on the top for the larger values. So it's just another interesting way to visualize data for your audience. Hope you found that interesting, and I hope you'll reach for that one in addition to those pie charts, which we all tend to go to right away. Good luck.